Welcome, everyone. My name's Jeff St. Laurent, and in just a minute, I have a very special guest to ring in the last Tuesday live show of the year. But before we get going and I introduce him, I do record all of my live shows and I put them on my university, on my website, sellingcoaching.com. I help coaches transition to a full-time business. I have a lot of fantastic resources there, one of which you can start right on the homepage. If you enter your name and email, you'll automatically receive an audio resource, which is launching your coaching business, the first 3 vital steps. That's going to really help you really start to understand what it is that you need to do to start moving forward to begin to market your business and start to grow your exposure. And that leads me into my special guest today, who happens to be my son. Keaton, welcome to the live show, man.
Hi, Dad.
What's up? It's
Hi.
funny because he asked me this morning, he's like, what do I call you on the show today? Dad or Jeff?
Jeff, yeah.
So anyway, so we're going to have a little fun. And the reason why I asked him to be on the show today is because obviously I help coaches, grow their business. And a huge aspect to really the biggest aspect to our business is getting more exposure, right? And being in front of people and having an audience. And a couple months ago, you started, and I remember you came to me, it was more like 3 months ago where you started the process, but you went live 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to get a YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we started to help you with your logo and things like that. So talk about the process, because for the people that I'm working with, Keaton, they're coaches, and you've heard me talk about probably some of the things, but they're starting their business off, and some of them aren't comfortable with social media and growing their business and what needs to get done. And I just found you had a lot of really cool things that you've done along the way. And a lot of people that I work with sometimes that are scared to do the things that you're doing. Yeah. So I kind of want to tap into your mind. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, you can't be nervous. I know it's going to be nervous, but I had an old YouTube channel, and I would say it wasn't the best because I had a phone to record, or an iPad, and I had to record the TV. But it's going to be hard at first, but it's going to get better over time, and you're going to get more confident, and you're going to get more skills, and you're going to learn more. And my dad always tells me to do my research. So I do research on things, and I have more, I reach out to people and say, hey, if you want to join the live stream, you can, and make sure to subscribe and whatever. But you just got to be open and honest with people and say oh, this is how I do things. If you like me, that's good. But if you don't, I was going to try. You always have to try, but you always have to have a winning mentality, basically.
Yeah. And that's really cool, because I think that's what I've seen with you is you haven't had the fears that a lot of people have. You've had to work through some of them, but start us off from the beginning, before you actually went live, what were some of the things you did to kind of prepare? I know you did a logo, and what were you thinking about before you launched your YouTube channel and your Twitch channel and things like that?
Well, I was thinking I want to start something, because all that I'm doing right now is just sitting at home doing nothing because it's COVID and we have school and stuff. But I wanted to do something new. So I started to make a logo, and we finally got it. And I'm now I'm really into it. And the logo's been on my desktop since I've had it. And I've just looked at it every day and said hey, that's my logo. And I want to keep that growing. And I almost always say after my streams, I'm so glad to have you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and just be open with your fans, basically. And you need to it's hard at the beginning, but you progress over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in the beginning for you, right when you started to launch, so it's about 2 months ago as of this recording, when you started off, what were some of the things that were hard for you as you started to launch these channels?
Oh, I thought I would get made fun of, or just people would play it in front of me, and then I would get a little nervous or whatever. But eventually you learn to or eventually I learned to deal with it. But towards the beginning, how do I say it? It's nerve-wracking in the beginning, but you get used to it over time. But I know some people, it's hard for them to do it. And it's hard for everybody, but eventually you get to the point where you're hey, that's my channel. That's what I want to do. And if you like it, it's not a waste of time. And if you like it, you go for it and you can do what you want and have fun with it.
Yeah, that's really cool how you say that. Because you mentioned earlier that you had a couple other YouTube channels from the
Mhm.
past. And when I asked you about them, tell them what happened in terms of like, remember you deleted them?
Yeah, so I deleted my old one because someone mentioned it to like the teacher at my school, and the teacher was a great guy, but he kept playing them in class and stuff. And I was just a little embarrassed, but it was always like before class. But like I was debating if I should tell him, hey, do you mind not playing them or not? But I decided one day to then like go home and like delete the channel because I didn't want it to happen again. But now I feel like I'm not going to delete this one because I'm confident about it and I'm confident that we're going to get somewhere with it.
Yeah.
And like, I know people have opinions on stuff, but you have to have your opinion and that's what matters most.
Yeah. So what do you think the difference is between you prior, like, you did your channel
Hmm.
before and, you didn't really do it to promote it and get it out
Hmm.
there. You just kind of did it for fun a little bit, you're
Hmm.
still doing this for fun, but
Yeah.
what do you think the main differences is between that and like being so embarrassed about it, that you deleted it where
Hmm.
now you have the confidence to, potentially deal with some of that as you get more exposure?
Well, I think that there's gonna be haters like of you and like other people they're either gonna like you or not. And I feel like when the difference is like now I feel like I'm doing more research and stuff and like how to promote and stuff and also like adding stuff to like so like when someone follows me I get the notification. Like I didn't know how to do that and I usually go on Twitch and look at all the other people and see like oh their setup and stuff and I try to look at the setup. I try to keep the setup the best I can clean and stuff. But I think the first YouTube channel had a lot of good memories on it, but it wasn't as good as this one because although this one's good, the last one that I had was good, but it wasn't like the best because I didn't have a setup and recording studio and you know what I mean? But you learn over time. Like if I kept that YouTube channel, I would have learned over time to like progress and stuff like that. But I feel like you just gotta love what you do. And if you do that, you're golden.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying that. So now this one you started to progress. So what were some of the like skill sets you feel like you had to learn, and like you said, you did research on, and you obviously had to
Mhm.
learn how to do certain things to be able to have the channel, certain
Mhm.
technologies. Talk about maybe some of the things that you had to learn to be able to get this going.
Well, I had to learn like what computer I should get like for the games I want and like the different like microphone and like webcam and like different things that you like I like but that still work because I always like call Best Buy and stuff and say like hey is this okay like is because I was worried one day I was playing a game and my fans were running like so like hard and I was wondering like oh is is it working or so I did the research and I asked my friends and I called people and it was like oh I'm doing my research and this is happening you kind of get that
Yeah.
but it's definitely different like you have to be committed you have to want it and you have to be like into it kind of you know what I mean.
And what about like the video editing and some of the technology and stuff like that? Cause like I've been impressed. Like in the beginning, it was like, Dad, help me. Can you look
Yeah.
at this? Can you look at this? And now it's just like I come in your room and I see some of the stuff that you're doing, and I'm like, dude, I have no clue what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah. So usually I watch some YouTube videos and I see them like, oh, if they zoom in or like they do something with their like video basically and you're learning from watching other people and you see other people's like mentality and like drive to the thing, you know what I mean? So you learn from them, but the things I do like when I was with my cousins, like I record a video with them and then I edit. We have laughs all the time, and you got to remember to laugh sometimes. Not everything you is not serious. You have to laugh sometimes. You know what I mean? But there's these things like because you can cut clips and stuff. But I've learned from like you, like watching you and stuff. But it's definitely different, and you definitely have to like learn from it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's definitely a learning experience and stuff. So you have to like, I don't know the word. It's like, it's not go for it, but you have to like learn. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's like you just gotta, trudge forward, and as you see
Mhm.
stuff that you like, you gotta figure out like, if
How to
I want
do
to do
it.
that, how do I
Yeah.
do that, right?
hmm
Yeah, because I've been impressed with like your editing your videos. You played around with your lighting,
hmm
your settings to the microphone. When people subscribe to your channel, didn't you create like a certain meme when they
Yeah, it's like
subscribe and follow
it's
you?
yeah, it's called a widget, and then it like pops up in the corner, like, oh, this person followed you.
And
So,
how did you figure out something like that?
well, I was watching this guy one day, and then someone followed him, and it popped up, and I was doing research like how to do that, and it happened to be a whole nother recording studio. So I have like 3 recording studios right now, but I did that, and then I had to go on the website and edit it, and like they already had like the GIFs and stuff like to put in, but I just looked at it and I looked it up on YouTube and it said how to do it. But some videos are gonna be like not like crappy, but they're not gonna help you as much as other videos. But you learn eventually as how you go along. You know what I mean? Like
Or
through
like
time.
some videos you can learn from, like some you're saying like some aren't going to help you very much at all, and some are
hmm
going to be like really
Yeah.
helpful.
But eventually you learn over time, and then you can help other people do that.
Yeah. So now let's fast forward here. So, over the last couple of months, we'll talk about your results in a little bit because you've had
hmm
some pretty cool results.
Yeah.
Um, but especially the last couple of weeks with
hmm
TikTok and everything. But let's save that for the end. But what I've been impressed with is the consistency that you have of streaming and staying in touch with your audience, because I always teach my people, like, look, you got to build an audience, but you got to not only build an audience and grow new people, but the ones that you have, you got to constantly stay in front of them and be top of mind and be communicating with them. And we
hmm
do that like via email and also live broadcasts like you're doing.
hmm
Talk about like your schedule and your consistency of like every night streaming, putting out your schedules. Like, I've been so impressed by that.
So the first ever schedule I had was I streamed at 9:30 to like 10:30 because I usually go to bed on school nights at around 10:45 or 11. So I tried to make it in that. But then once I started streaming, like people say like, oh, do it earlier and stuff. Like, so another thing is like you got to listen to people and like what they want and stuff. But do it works for you. You know what I'm talking about? But the first thing I had was I streamed at 9:30 and then I pushed it back to like 7:30, I think, but that didn't work. So now I usually stream at 8:30 or earlier if I'm going to do more games. But I just post on like Instagram or Snapchat like, oh, I'm going live at 8:30. Make sure to join. And like, cause my friend started it with me and stuff, and he has like 182, I think. But all of us are like, come on, join the stream, and like, you just gotta like keep posting, and eventually they're gonna like come to you and say like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. I'll keep watching him because eventually over time you'll grow a community that you want to stick with and stuff. But there's a lot of different things that I had like 9:30 and then like you have to go to a certain time because most like actual streamers like they're older. They stream for like 6 hours a day. But since I have other stuff to do, like I put a time aside from my day to stream and like interact with people and then I can do what I want. You know what I mean?
So you have a schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you have a schedule. And then, so what were some of the things you started to do is not only you had a schedule, you were consistent with it. Like, I remember you're like, I'm like, hey, bud, do you want to watch a movie or do you want to hang out? You're like, no, I got to stream. I got to
Yeah.
stream. And it was cool because like you had a routine going for yourself, and then
hmm
the routine started working, but then you needed to adjust it based on, school, basketball came up as
Yeah.
well. Um, so talk about maybe some of the things you did to start to promote to get more subscribers, because you started with zero.
hmm
And like right now on your YouTube channel, as of this recording, you're up to 66. And then on Twitch, you just passed 100 like last week,
I
right?
think I'm at 102 right now.
Okay. And I remember like every bit along the way, like, Dad, I'm at 10. All right, I'm at 15, or and then I know it was a big thing when we passed 100.
Yeah.
But talk about like what are some of the things that you've done along the way to actually get more subscribers?
Well, I've reached out to other people and I've said like, hey, if you want to just spread like the word like, oh, this guy's streaming and people can either take note or ignore you. And like I saw a comment in the chat like, and my son's 14 and watching this with me. He asked like, how do you handle negative comments? Um, for that, you just gotta, it's gonna be tough sometimes. Like people are always gonna try to bring you down, but you have to like go forward with it because you love it and you gotta deal with it because not everybody's gonna love what you do. Like there's gonna be people trying to bring you down, but if you love what you do, you gotta stick with it and you gotta be passionate about it. But you can talk to someone, like talk to like your family members or something like, and then just get it out. You know what I mean? But like promoting it is like you reach out to other people and you talk to people and then because me and my friend Kelvin, like we both like say like, hey, go follow him. And we're trying to get to 100 because he's trying to get to 200 by the end of the year, I'm pretty sure. And I'm trying to get to like 105 by the end of the year, but we're like helping each other out. And you can help other people out like by promoting them and also them promoting you. So like it's like a partnership between you and you have friends and like family members that can help you with that.
Yeah. So it's really starting to connect with the existing community you have, right? So it's starting
Mm-hmm.
to work with the friends that you already have, letting
Mm-hmm.
people know. I know another thing is you're always asking. Like whenever you're watching your video, you're doing your videos or writing the things, you're always asking for people to subscribe and to share, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are like, oh, um, there's this thing like, oh, this guy's streaming, like make sure to follow him or because a lot of people do that. Some people ignore it, but some people actually check it out. And if they like you, they'll share it to their friends and it'll just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. So there's a mentality that you have and like a passion with your friends, your family, and you and your community that you have. So you have to like just keep going and keep progressing because like a month ago, my friend told me like, hey man, I noticed you started like lacking off, like telling people, hey, I'm going live. And I'm like, yeah, I did because I stopped posting for a while, but I kept going live. And there was, what was it? And then I started posting and then it started to grow again. But you like, if you have something like a social media, like Instagram, post on your story, like, hey, I'm going live. Hope you're having a great day. Hope to see you there. Cause that's what you can do. Like on Twitch, you can do a little thing. Like when the notification pops up, that's what it's going to say. So I say like, hey, how's your day going? I hope you're having a great day. You can come and join the stream if you want and stuff like that. But it's like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So you're using different platforms. So you have, what do you have for platforms? Instagram.
Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, really.
Okay. And then obviously you have your Twitch channel
Hmm.
and then your YouTube channel. So you're utilizing TikTok and Snapchat and
Hmm.
Instagram for the people that are following you there, letting you know when you're going live, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So you just gotta let them know, and like the first time, like this is like for TikTok, like when like the video like blew up, like I went live that day and I had like 38 people on, and I'm like, wow. And then like people are messaging me after like, oh, you're such an inspiration, like thank you, and like I felt like really good. So also with like communities, like they help you carry on, like they're the people like you like that help you like progress on and stuff. That's what I do. Like like fans, like you know what I mean? They help you progress on and keep doing what you're doing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. And what about, like, I noticed one of the people watching this wrote, and I think you started to answer this a little bit, how do you, when you have comments, like if people write stuff that's negative, because people do that, right? They don't know
Hmm.
you, right? They're like,
Hmm.
this is dumb, or you're dumb, or they say something, you know, um, your worst fear of,
Hmm.
putting yourself out there. Um, have you seen stuff like that on some of your videos, and like how
Yeah,
you,
I have sometimes, and I try to think to myself, they wish like some people have said to me like, just think when someone says that like they wish they had what you have, because like it's not to sound mean, but it's sometimes true because what you have is like what you want and you've been working for and you always have to work hard. And there was this quote the other day. It was like, if you work hard it opens up opportunities. It doesn't mean that you're going to get there, but it opens up more opportunities if you work hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying it sounds like that, when people make a negative comment, they're just probably upset with themselves or they want what you have. Not what you have, but they want something like
Yeah, I know
for
what you mean.
themselves.
But sometimes also I just try to ignore it because if you really go into it, it can bring you down. It can bring the motivation down. So if anybody's dealing with that, I would just try to ignore it.
Yeah. And stay focused on
Yeah, stay
what's
focused on
working.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah. So let's have to wrap this up. So it was 2 weeks ago, you did a TikTok video and it was like you were actually over your mom's, right?
Hmm.
And you text me like, "Hey dad, I think you were on TikTok and you had 500 followers, right?"
Yeah, so I started 550. I posted a video. It got 14,000. Then I posted
14,000
another
what?
one. The first video I posted got 14,000
What 14,000 what? Like
like
comments or
views.
views, okay.
And then the second one got 66,000 views. And then I posted another video, it got like 1,000. But I reposted the one that got 66,000. And I said, like, thank you so much. And that's the one that blew up. That's the one that got like 2 million views. And it has like 300, like, I don't remember. It has like, I don't remember honestly, but there's like comments and everything. And now I started at 550 and now I'm at 38,000 followers. So
Subscribers.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I wrote it yesterday. So you're at 38,000 followers.
Hmm.
That one video had like 41,900 shares
Hmm.
and like 36,000 comments.
Yeah,
Which was just crazy.
I think the video has 370 something thousand likes or whatever. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I never thought it would happen. Like so it happened after lunch. I posted it after lunch. And then I was in like history and I checked my phone and I didn't pay attention to the next two classes because I didn't know what to do because it was like coming in and kept coming in. And I'm like, oh, I'm at like 1,000. Now I'm at 2,000. Now I'm at 5,000. It just kept going. And on TikTok, you can go live at 1,000 followers. And I remember I kept making videos like, oh my gosh. And I remember I texted you when I got 10,000 and I was like so psyched. And I noticed like when I was at like 9,000 or something, I started to lose some, but then it started to go back up. But I realized like goes back to like negative comments. Like sometimes you're going to like see like, oh, I'm losing followers. But if the real people are going to stay with you if they want to be with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you just got to keep pursuing you and your dream and stuff. But it just kept going and kept going. So now it's at 2 million views and it's like, it's keep going, but it's really cool. Like how it just happened.
Yeah. I remember watching it and like you text me and you're like, you were at like, 1,000 followers. And then
Mhm.
like, I would check it like an hour later and now you're at like 5,000.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was out of your control. Right.
Yeah.
And like you look at the video, it's like 1 million views. And then like literally 30 minutes later, it's at like 1.3 million views. And it's just like,
Yeah. When I hit a million, it was insane. I was like running around the house like, what?
but
I
what's cool if you want to write in the comments, maybe if you want to write your channel names,
Okay.
like if you want to write your Twitch channel, your YouTube channel, I'll put that in the
Okay.
recording as well. But also if you want to do your TikTok channel or your
Okay.
TikTok account so people can check that out.
Okay.
I think it's cool to kind of see that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think what was cool is afterwards, like while it was happening, you made some videos and you were just like so grateful and
Hmm.
just nothing but warm for everyone, that they were doing that. And I think that's really cool because, you weren't like thinking you're all that just because you had a video that got 2 million views or like now I got, 38,000 subscribers and I'm the man. Like you stayed true to yourself. Um, and you just kept doing the things that you've been doing.
Yeah.
And
There
that's
was
why, go ahead.
Yeah, there was people that said like, "Don't forget me," and like, "Hey, I've been your friend. Like, don't forget me," because now like you blew up and stuff. And you got to remember, like the people, there's always going to be people that started there with you, and you can't forget them. but you have to remember everybody, like they're there for you for a reason. Like they like you and they like the content you post and stuff. So you have to be thankful for them. It's not just like, oh, I like what you said, like, oh, I'm all this, like, oh, no one can like do this other than me. But you have to be there for people and you have to help them out and you have to thank them and stuff. But it's like a community, so you have to all be like together as one.
Yeah. And before we wrap up, what I know when you started, when that video started, blowing up and you got a lot
Mhm.
more subscribers, can you just talk about a few things that you did to kind of start to broaden your exposure? And what I mean by that, I remember you saying like how you were people, like you're talking to some other bigger people that had more subscribers and say like, hey, I'm challenging this guy to something. Like, remember the guy that like screamed really loud?
Yeah,
Like,
he
challenge
commented on my
him.
video too.
What?
He commented on my video too.
Yeah, so like the other people on the platform who had millions of subscribers and
Mhm.
viewers, like you were kind of like tagging them and asking people to tag this person. Like,
Yeah.
can you talk about kind of your thought process behind that? Like,
Like, yeah, like because I see like a lot of people do that and some actually work, but like, because there's this guy, I don't know if any of you guys know him, but his name is David Dobrik, and he's helping people right now because he knows it's a tough time. But a lot of people say like, oh, tag him in the comments, because once you tag someone, it posts up in your uh, notification box, and it like says, oh, this guy tagged you in a post, and then you can watch it, and then they see you, and then they see like what you're saying about them and stuff, like, and like positive stuff and whatever, you know what I mean? But I just thought like, oh, maybe I should try it and see if it works. But
nice. So you were tagging different people that had commented or watched your video or that you
yeah,
wanted to kind of be noticed by.
yeah,
Yeah. And then that's just a different strategy of getting exposure and getting in front of
hmm,
people. Right. And
yeah.
then there was one other thing that I remember you said you did earlier on where you had some people that had, quite a bit of exposure and you just flat out asked them
Oh
if they
yeah,
could comment or tell them what you did.
yeah. So there's this guy. He's a singer, and I asked him because I've been there since he had like 1,000 followers or whatever, or his first song came out, and I asked him like, hey, if you don't mind, I'm just trying to grow this. I'm trying to reach like 100, because I think at the time I was trying to reach like 50 or 60, but I just asked him like, hey, do you mind like just posting this on your story and saying like go follow him or whatever, but you don't have to, but thank you if you do. And he said yeah, and so he posted on his story. He has like 40,000 followers, so he posted it on his story, and some people started to come to me and stuff.
Yeah.
So
And as an example, like, do you remember when you posted, because I remember initially you posted and the guy's got like 40,000 followers and he posted it and you asked, which I think is a good thing for people to hear, is that a lot of what you're doing is just asking,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's all. You're just not being afraid to ask. And you're like, what's
yeah,
the worst that can happen?
yeah,
But as a result, I think remember you're like the guy has 40,000 followers and like only one person followed me or something like that. Or
yeah. I remember that.
how do you manage expectations on certain things?
So usually all of us see things like we're gonna start here and then go like automatically up here. But the reality is we all start here and we have to just keep climbing up by ourselves and like explaining like, oh, this is what I do. If you want to check me out, you can. But expectation is like you said, like I thought like I was gonna get a little more, but I got like maybe 5, which is like I was impressed. But you just gotta keep going and keep growing. You know what I mean? But it's tough, but hard. Like I said, like hard work will open up more opportunities, and you gotta just keep working at what you do.
Dude, it's been so awesome having you
Yeah,
on
thank
the
you for
show.
having me.
And like you're like literally on the other side of this wall.
Yeah,
I can like hear your echo like as you speak.
yeah, I
you know?
can too.